location, I'll pick you up. You don't have to worry, I'm speeding in the dark. Tell me your location, you can't be too far. It's gonna be fine now. Tell me your location, I'll pick you up. You don't have to worry.
Hey everyone, welcome to the newest episode of On That Note with Parker Whirling. Today's guest joins me all the way from Sweden. She has a new EP out right now called Call Dad, and it's filled with a lot of lovely, beautiful tunes. Before we get the episode started, please make sure to like and subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. And don't forget to follow me at Parker Whirling and at onthatnote_podcast on Instagram. And on that note, please welcome Demekech. I'm sitting here with Demekech, an indie singer-songwriter and producer based in Sweden. I'm going to try to pronounce the name of her hometown right now. It's Skellefteå. Was that all right?
That was all right.
It was all right. Okay. We had a whole moment before we started her coaching me, figuring out how to say it. But I'll let you say it in a second so that everybody can hear exactly how it's supposed to be pronounced. But I heard your debut song Location on Spotify's Fresh Finds indie playlist and loved it. And what was cool is right after I reached out to you and you said you were down to come on the show, you put out new music almost immediately after that. So I was excited to immediately hear your debut EP called Dad. It's really lovely. All the songs are so well produced, and it's such a personal feeling album. It seems very personal to you. So I would love to ask you about the writing and the recording process behind it, and how it was creating your debut EP under the name Demekech.
Yeah. That sounds really good.
Thank you. I'm trying my best here with the pronunciations.
Yeah, doing great. I'm the one who's I'm really nervous, but don't worry about me. I'm doing
I believe
fine
in you,
on my own.
just like you believe in me.
Yeah. Should I just talk about
I would love to know how you started out the songs. Do you typically write them starting on guitar? I know there's a lot of guitar in the songs.
Yeah, I know. No, I actually start most of my songs playing the piano, actually.
Oh, wow.
When I'm sitting in the studio by myself, then I only start at the piano and working my way from there. It's very basic in the beginning. I'm trying to find the right melody and trying to find the language for this particular song, the vibe. And then I take someone, on this EP, I've had my dear friend Atle Nilsson is his name, and we worked on all the songs together, and we turned them into something. Some of them are completely different from how they started out. So it's been a journey, so to speak. But piano is my. I used to study guitar in high school, but left that. But I've been all throughout this whole process with the Call Dad. I've had guitars stuck on my mind when I'm in a session. For example, I always I want them to play elgitarr. Electric guitar. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I forgot that word. Oh my god.
It sounds so good in the EP. Whatever effects or anything you're using on it, it's very tasteful. When you guys are when you're working with your friend on these songs, and you said they go through a journey. What does that journey look like from start to finish? Because I know a lot of things can happen to a song by the time it's done being made.
Yeah. When I'm thinking about the biggest journey of which of these songs has had the biggest journey, I immediately think of Vacay. It started out exactly like I said, sat in the studio, like the end of a studio session, and just played some random chords and sang the first verse. It just came like that. And then it was like summertime here in Sweden, and everybody's on vacation. So I just let it rest for like two months, I think. I showed it to my team or my manager. I'm not used to saying that yet.
Your manager?
Yeah.
That's a pretty new development.
Yeah, it's or I've been pretty much like I've been signed to Sion for maybe 1.5 years, but I haven't released any music, so it's been like I haven't gotten used to it. But Vacay started as like one verse. I said to Atle that produced this album, that I need Vacay to be on this. I really it's so personal, and it feels that it could become really, really great. So like a couple months ago, like in August, we finished it. And I felt really at peace with that version. But then my team pushed me a little bit more. They're like, you should like, because then it was like chords, organ, very like big organ.
So they wanted you to change it up a little bit?
Yeah, like they said that you can like you can, if you want, you just like try something else, like challenge yourself like a little bit, just. And and I felt really, really like but then when they pushed me, it turned to this incredible. Also, I'm really, really proud of how Vacay ended up on the EP. So I'm glad that they pushed me, but it's difficult sometimes when you're like mentally done with the song. Like,
yeah.
I'm done, and then someone says, "But try it again." Like, but I'm glad they did. So from the beginning, it was no screaming. It was no. It was pretty much only my singing, some choirs, and an organ, and a little bit some electric guitars in the refrain, but that was it. So a lot of things happened during that push. They were like, try to like express yourself in like a different way, and they made me think a lot of Frank Ocean. Love
Yes.
Frank Ocean.
Yes, that was what I thought as well.
Yeah.
With the there was this one vocal. I mean, there's a few, but one at least at the very beginning, or 1 minute 40 seconds in, there's like this kind of distorted vocal, and I didn't know it was a vocal at first. I couldn't tell, which I thought was the cool part of it, was it didn't quite sound human, and then once you realize it, you can't, like, it's so like in your face in a way. And there's a lot of little moments like that that come out throughout the rest of the song, and I could absolutely see how those weren't in there at first, and then they were like, try to add some things or change it up a little bit. And that's my favorite part of maybe the whole album, is when all of those moments come in, those little bits of you that are like poking through the song. It's a really interesting way to instrumentate it. I know you just said Frank Ocean is an inspiration. You love Frank Ocean. I do as well. Are there any other artists that you look up to when it comes to the way they layer their songs, or the way that they produce their songs and make certain experimental production choices?
Oh, that's a good question. Frank Ocean is like up there. He's the greatest. But then I really, really love Phoebe Bridgers.
Yeah.
Also in her, like, always layering her vocals. She always have a always has a double dub
Right.
we say in Swedish. And when you said that, I just got to think of Scott Street. Have you heard
What's-
that song?
Who's
With her.
that by?
That's by Phoebe Bridgers.
Oh, okay. I really only know the Punisher album and like
Oh,
one or two other songs. Is this on Punisher?
No, this is
The first
the one
album?
before. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know it.
But it's like she sings about, it's like 1.5 minutes of nothing but the guitar and singing, and then she sings about drums, and then the drums join singing, and she sings about a helicopter, and then you hear the helicopter like in the back. Also, it's maybe not so much screaming like I did, but I really like the fun part of it. Like, it's fun to listen to that kind of song, and then like, oh, just yeah, that's why it joined in here. And I'm really frustrated in Vacay. That's why I'm screaming. So it's about my frustration. So I don't know, but I would say that everything, like, I took inspiration especially from Frank Ocean, and then when I think about choirs, oh my god, maybe I'm really all over the place now. You had to say something then.
You want me? You're doing great.
Good. Solange.
Oh,
She-
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Also, when I think about like the perfect kind of choir arrangement, I think about her. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Lots of those arrangements to the next project.
Yeah. Was it
Yeah.
hard to get yourself in an emotional place to do that kind of screaming, that angst behind those background vocals? I know you said you didn't really want to at first push your
Yeah.
like change, and your management wanted you to push. Was there a moment, did you try other things first and then you were like, maybe I should give this a go? Or
Yeah.
did you kind of know quickly
No, we
what you
tried.
wanted?
from the beginning, when we were going to push it, it was mostly melodies, like the melodies that's also in there, and it was mostly those, or like ad-libs, small ad-libs all over, just to like so we can pick and choose. And then I sat right here, I was going to work, and I had started like singing the parts a little too late at the day, so I was a little bit stressed and like unhappy because I was going to my work. And I just tried to scream. I think one of the melodies that I sang sounded almost like a scream. Like it was really high pitched, and I liked that. And I was like, let's try. So I just took one take and just screamed and shouted.
You're like, wow, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. But and I had effects on, like I don't know what it's called, but I sound like a baby almost. So it sounded a little less scary, and so but it felt good.
That is a really cool part of the song and of the whole EP, and it's interesting that it seems to be building up to that moment. The first 3 songs kind of make sense, or it adds more to the first 3 songs when you do have that explosive moment. And then the last song is like the quiet, like the calm after that big explosion. Did you put a lot of thought into the ordering of the songs on the EP, or did it just happen to work out this way?
No, I wanted the last track to be the last track. It had to be that way. And I always like when it was clear that it was going to be these songs, I had a feeling that VK and the last song was meant to be together in some way.
Mm-hmm.
And I say the last song because because it's called D G J I N. Men gud, I'm sorry. I've never pronounced it even in Swedish. I always say it's det ger ju inte honom någonting.
Right, that's what I was gonna say. That was exactly how I was gonna pronounce
You know you're Swedish.
it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I figured I'd let you do it for me.
Yeah. Det ger ju inte honom någonting. And that means it doesn't make sense. Vänta. Det ger ju inte honom någonting. It doesn't benefit him.
That's what that means?
Yeah, det ger ju inte honom någonting. That doesn't benefit him. It doesn't benefit him to lie to me.
Oh, wow.
That's yeah. And it was always called those letters, like the shortening. I don't know what it's called. When it was being produced and written, and so it has to. It had to stay that way.
When you say it doesn't benefit him, are you talking about the person, the guy who in the song your friend told you to go see?
Exactly. Yeah. And through I've had a really rough time with mental health, like the past 3 years maybe. So like it's so much in all of these songs that is about that, and how mental health affects your relationships, and and how you see yourself and stuff like that. So I talked to that guy. It's like, in my mind, it's so obvious that, no, it's not obvious if I think about it. I talk about a psychologist, therapist. Yeah. That was really, really bad. Also, he sucked. He was really bad. Oh.
That's gotta feel weird, going to someone who's supposed to help you and listen and just absolutely suck.
Crap.
Yeah.
No, but, yeah, like finally had like built out the courage to go to a therapist again, because I've been there, done that. But this time again. And I got a meeting with a doctor first. I don't know how it's in America.
I mean,
Or are you in America? You're
am,
in America.
Yes.
Yeah, because you sound really American.
Yeah, I do. I think I do. I don't know.
Yeah, you do. I love it.
Okay, good. I was worried that was a bad thing.
No, like, we're obsessed with America here. You know that, right?
No, I didn't know that.
You don't know. We have like USA-podden. We have like USA pod.
Pod?
Podcast.
Oh, yes.
It's really big, but we talk about, not me, but Swedish people, journalists, talk about American politics and stuff. Yeah, and we love it. No.
Well, it's
really interesting.
It's a shit show over here.
Yeah, it's a shit show. but it's interesting still. You're like so big. You're America.
That is interesting, because I've never really been out of the country. I've never been to Europe or anywhere on that side of the world. So I don't really know what your view of America is, or all the little intricacies of what people on that side of the world might think about America or Americans.
Yeah. I get that, also totally. And it's not like we're interested in your politics because it's like amusing. It's interesting and it's important. Also, you're like such a stor makt, höll jag på att säga. You're such a big part of the economy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we don't have to go there. And then, but like from America, like in a cultural perspective, like we've grown up with the movies, the series, like it's something about America.
Right. Well, you chose to sing all of your songs in English.
Yeah, in English.
So was that always going to happen, or did you want to sing your songs in Swedish? I know you have that little part at the end of the last song where you talk in Swedish.
Yeah. But I think I've always wanted to sing in English. I've written some songs in Swedish. But I'm dreaming of making it outside Sweden, like go to America or and UK. I would really like to make it there. And different and other countries in Europe, like Germany.
Do you want to
France.
play there or live there or
Play
both?
there. Play there mostly, but I would really like to try and live abroad for like a time, a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It would be really fun to try. I can see like going abroad for a year and just writing music, like when you have that kind of money
Yeah.
to live like that. But like going to London and being there for like a year and just spending time in the studio and drinking. That would be
drinking.
perfect.
Just drinking, hanging around London,
Just drink.
playing music. That
Yeah.
sounds amazing to me.
Yeah, that sounds like a dream for a Swede. We love drinking.
A dream for a Swede. I love that.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to go back to what we were talking about with the mental health, because I was reading an interview you did with Sparky, which is like an online magazine article, and
Jaha.
mm-hmm.
I didn't know.
What?
I didn't know.
Oh, you didn't know?
No.
Well, maybe they just quoted you without your permission, but you
Yeah.
could tell me if this is accurate.
Yeah,
I just looked up Demekech interview music, and it was like the first one that popped up. So you can look it up and tell me that if it's real or not. But
I think it's real.
okay, good.
If it's
I was a
about
little
mental
nervous.
health, it's probably.
But you said in here, talking about your song Sunny Days, that one of my biggest fears is that my anxiety will be too heavy to carry for my loved ones. And I was, in my head, feel like those feelings can hit harder on some days, and they can be not as big on other days. Some days you do better, some days you don't. Do you feel like the process of writing this song has helped you learn how to navigate that anxiety?
Yeah, alltså it's so nice to have something put into a song so you can like return to it and feels that's what it's been like for me. Like I returned to the songs and felt some kind of relief. It's nice to have written them down. But I still struggle with that kind of those kinds of feelings. Like, have you ever experienced mental health?
Yes, I think everybody goes through things like that. I think it affects certain people more than others. For me, I don't feel like it's a day-to-day battle. I've had maybe periods of time where my surroundings, the people I was around, were not good for me, and I maybe didn't realize it. And that is what can bring me a lot of anxiety, or habits I get into that aren't healthy. But it's more situational than it is just like, every day or every other day kind of thing.
Yeah. Totally get that. Like it's more present.
Mm-hmm.
at certain times,
Yeah.
maybe.
Are there
Yeah.
moments in your life that stand out to you as parts of your life that you learned a lot from because you had to go through a lot of anxiety at that time?
I think I've learned a lot in these these last 2 years. I've been in a relationship with my boyfriend, and it's been really hard being that ill, like that I've been at times, like in my depression, and feeling like I constantly hurt him by being sick. Like sunny days is, as you is like almost everything's about him. All that lyric. Now I lost my words.
That's okay.
But, I've learned to listen, like, but these couple of years when it's been like the worst and such. I'm really happy now, but I'm on medication. So that and that's a new one for me.
Uh-huh.
And I need to tell you, like, it has helped
That's good.
a lot. Yeah, I'm really glad that this family and friends and Emil, my boyfriend, he said, like, you need to do something about it because it's starting to eat on me as well. Like, it affects our relationship too much at this point, and maybe you don't need like a therapist. Maybe you need to, like, right now you just need to. Jag kan bara säga det på svenska. Men alltså, like, it's not enough right now to go to a therapist. You need to have the strength to, like, even listen to the therapist as well, and you can't do that right now in what state you are in. And now I can. But I think I just opened my ears, like listening more. I've learned throughout.
Yeah, I was about to ask what the difference was that you see in yourself between, a couple of years ago and now. Is it that you listen more, that you take things in more clearly?
Yeah, I think so. And that I have the energy to do things. Like, I've been drained almost when doing even doing fun stuff, like things I've always liked to do, suddenly turned in, or not suddenly, but like slowly turned into really big things. Like, I couldn't. It wasn't always fun to meet your friends. I'm like a people's person, and I always want to be around my friend, and I always want to do something with them. But at times, like these past years, I haven't had the energy. I didn't feel happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt tired, so tired of almost nothing. and that's also when music has like gotten into the equation. Säger man så?
Yeah, that works. That works.
Me finding out that songwriting was this fun, I would have started like years ago. It's pretty new for me to write. I think I started. I always wanted to sing, be on stage, take the solos, and make a living out of music. But I like waited so long to get to the writing because I've been busy studying music, studying singing. So it was like 4 years ago maybe. 2000. Oh. 4 years ago, I think.
That
I
you started
learned-
writing songs?
Yeah, I learned Logic, and had like a mentor. I had like a teacher on a school in Stockholm that listened to my songs once a week and had feedback and on the production and on the lyrics.
So having gone through this whole journey with starting songwriting 4 years ago and learning how to produce on Logic, and then dealing with the mental issues that you've had to go through, obviously these things, we're always learning how to get better at music. We're always going through mental tough challenges as we get older. But right now, after having gone through what you have gone through and learned what you've learned, what advice would you give to artists that want to create music, that want to start, that maybe are going through tough situations that need to turn to music? What would be some things that you would want to tell them?
Write again. I would say. I would tell myself that if I could talk to her like 5 years ago. Start practicing writing and like take inspiration from what you're in right now and make those songs like your blankets that you can listen to and find comfort in and be proud of. Like that's been so good for me. Like always been my worst critic. Never been happy with my singing like on stage. I've always had negative things to say about myself. But when I started writing and like bounced every session I had so I can listen to it on the train home, I like whatever the quality of like that song, I've never felt that proud of myself. Like I did that. Like and it's a piano and some drums, but it's a completely new melody. And I did that, and I saved them in my folder at Google Drive, and and I don't know. It gave me a lot of like good to have a portfolio to see like you've done this, you made it, and then I gotta say, if you're like me and have had a hard time finding home in your home city, maybe move. Also try something new. Try a new town, try a new city. You can always move back. But like it was really, really important to me 2000 and what was it? 15, I think. No, 16. When I was home, also had a rough period of anxiety back then. And I was like unemployed, really sad at my parents' house. And was like, I can't move because I'm so sad and like depressed that like if I would move somewhere I wouldn't make it. I wouldn't like be able to take care of myself. And then the opportunity came. It was a friend who was moving out from Stockholm and wanted to rent out her apartment, and she was like, take it. Like and I was really hesitant, but then I said, varför inte? What is it going to like? I needed to go. I wasn't like cured of my depression, but I needed
A change.
yeah.
What did that phrase mean, by the way?
Varför inte? Why not?
Why not?
Why not? Why not? Oh, but so I would say like, yeah, I've said a lot now, but for me, like changing my environment, like pushing myself a little bit more and having fun, alltså.
Pushing yourself, having fun, right.
Yeah.
Those are all great pieces of advice, I think.
I don't know if maybe basic, but it's true. Also, right. That's the most important of it all, because then you get better.
Yeah, practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
I think that writing, for me personally, it's like I don't know how I feel about something until I write something that really speaks to me. Where some people, I think, they know what they want to say already, and it's a release. And for me, it's almost like a discovery where I don't quite know how I feel. I have an idea, and then when I put it down, and I feel good about it, I can step back and look at it and think like, oh, this puts into words something I couldn't really quite describe yet.
That's really nice. I don't think I've heard that kind of explanation. So you can like look at your song, your lyric, and be like, this
Right.
is what it was about. This what.
Yeah, and it takes me about, if it's about a certain event, it usually might take a few months for me to really even write about it in a way that makes sense to me. Because if I'm too close to that event, I might say something or might write in a way that's too, too either aggressive or too sad or too guilty. And I need that time to process how I feel about it now, later on, so that what I write feels more complete instead of just too close to that feeling in the moment. But I wish that I could write quicker
Yeah.
about something.
But maybe that's like the key to your to your work, like you have a process when you're finally there. It's like then you're ready, maybe, like to.
Right.
That's what you said, but I really like that. I would almost like. Sometimes I get so tired of myself and I would want to get over things a little bit, like, because just because I wrote this EP, I don't feel like now we can pack this up.
Right.
And I get that you don't feel so either, but it would be so nice to just like be able to put it down for a while, for some time at least.
I guess we always want to. Oh, what? What are you gonna say?
Sorry. Have you listened to Japanese House?
Yes. They're.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. They're the ones who they work with the 1975.
Aha.
Matt.
They do.
Yeah, Matt Healy.
That makes a lot of sense.
Right. They sound pretty similar, kind of.
Oh, I just need to say, I listened to their song with Justin Vernon. Also, and then I read like the lyrics on Spotify as I was listening, and I saw like it was like mitt i prick bullseye. Been going. Okay, can I tell you the lyric?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Been going through my storyline and how the past becomes the present if you're always on your mind.
Hmm.
And I love that. Oh my god. I
Whoa.
felt like it hit me. It's so much of the past that I'm trying to write now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to forget to be here.
In the moment.
Yeah, and that's so cliche. Also, no, don't quote me. Also, that was really, it's so cliche, but I love that. And how the past becomes your present if you're always on your mind. If it's always on your mind.
Right.
Om det förflutna, if the past is all. Oh, I love it. Sorry.
No,
Sorry.
thank you for sharing that. And
yeah, you should listen to the song.
I will. Do you remember the name of it? You can always look it up and send it to me after.
Yeah. It's on their top 5 on Spotify.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, I'll listen to it. There's one song I love that I cannot remember the name of right now. But she's got a great voice and the production is really, really cool. But yeah, that's gonna take us over to the last 5. But I appreciate you going in depth, talking about your process behind the EP, and also being comfortable with sharing your journey with mental health. I think it will be really nice for people to be able to relate to what you've been talking about. And I know it's not always easy to talk about that kind of stuff.
You're so welcome. It's been really easy talking to you.
Well, thank you. I try to make my guests feel comfortable.
Yeah, you really do.
Thank you. But yeah, so the last 5 here, just 5 questions, and then we're done.
Yes.
The first one is in the studio or playing live. Which one do you prefer?
Like overall.
Mm-hmm. If you had to pick one.
Yeah, the stage.
Yeah, playing live.
Playing live. But right now, I just want to be in the studio. I don't want to be anywhere else. But that's because of where I am in time.
Right. Well, what makes you want to be in the studio so bad right now?
I want to write new music,
Hmm.
like have a I just want to have camps and write new and a little different music. I'm like excited to experiment with my sound. So I'm and we're working on what I'm working on now is this making the next project. So I want to write good music and release it.
Well, it's funny how you can just release something and you're already thinking about trying to do the next thing.
Yeah, but that's really common, right?
Absolutely. Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I don't know
Because
anybody
I've never done this.
that is like, oh, just put that out. Let me just kick my feet up and hang out for a while. People are always wanting to do the next thing.
The next thing. Mm.
So question number 2 is, what do you think is a perfect album front to back?
Okay,
You can name a
gonna
few.
try.
You don't have to name just one.
one. Also, what I can think about right now is Beyoncé.
Okay.
Mm. 4. Also, I love when she dropped that album. Oh my god, that was when I became a Beyoncé fan. And Lemonade is really good.
Lemonade,
I
yeah.
love Haim.
Okay, yeah.
Oh my god, I love them. I want to be the fourth sister. So when they released Something to Tell You, I don't know, they're not the latest album, but the album before that, I was blown away. But their latest album is also, oh my god.
Yeah.
But
the
what
new
I like
one is
remember,
really great.
yeah, it was, and everybody said that it was the best they've done yet. But I got so in love with their second album,
Hmm.
so I won't let that go. And then we have Robin.
Yeah.
Mm.
I haven't listened to Robin much.
You haven't.
No.
You need to do that.
That's my homework.
You need
for
to,
today.
yeah. Like Sweden's pride.
Oh, is she from Sweden? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
she's from Sweden. Oh my god. Her latest album, Honey. That's great.
Yeah.
That's what I can come up with now. But
Those are a good 3 or 4 right there.
I hope so.
Yeah, it was. I'll definitely listen to Robin, because I feel like
Yeah.
I know one song maybe, and that's it. And it's probably her like biggest one.
Is it I keep dancing on my own.
That, yeah, I think so.
I'm in the corner watching you kiss her. Is that? It's
Yeah.
that.
Well, I feel like I just heard it after you just singing it right now.
But you probably heard it, but didn't like Callum Scott, or is that a guy? Is that
don't
the
know.
singer?
I don't think
From,
I know who
like,
that is.
America's Got Talent. No, I think
America's
someone
Got
did
Talent?
a cover. Yeah.
Is that what you said?
What's that? America's Got Talent?
Yeah, America's Got Talent.
Yeah, I think it was someone from that show or Britain's Got Talent that made a cover of
Okay.
that song, and it went crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I'll listen to both. See how I
Yeah,
feel about him.
But Robin is better. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, the original. Hard to beat the original.
You can't.
Question number 3 is, who's your dream artist or producer to work with?
Frank Ocean.
Yeah, I wrote him down. That's who I wanted to see. You
Yeah,
work
Frank Ocean. Solange. Robin. Also Robin. If you ever hear this, I'm sorry. Oh, Phoebe Bridgers. Oh my
Mhm.
god. Ja, alltså there we have my top 4,
There you go.
I think. Yeah.
I wrote down a couple that I would love to see. Do you know Sampha?
Yeah.
That would be really
Yeah.
cool, I think. He has some
Yeah, that would be
crazy
he's
soundscapes in his songs.
amazing. Ja.
It's nuts.
Och hur går den?
And then, do you know Choker?
Nej.
Choker? He is getting bigger for sure. He's not, I don't know if he's even quite as big as Sampha, but he's awesome. And I will send you a couple of tunes of his. His voice is amazing. Every time I show them to somebody, people think it kind of sounds like Frank Ocean, and it kind of does. But he does have his own spin on a lot of things. So I will send you 2 or 3 songs by him after. He is like amazing.
Please do. I'm really curious.
There's some stuff in Vacay, your song Vacay, that remind me of things he'll do with his voice, for sure.
Mhm.
So I will send
Nice.
you. I already have 2 or 3 songs in mind. I'll shoot your way after this.
That would be great. I need
Quit-
new
Yeah,
input also.
yeah. Well, this will be a good deep dive because he's got 3 or 4 albums out.
Mhm.
He hasn't put out music for like 2 or 3 years, but I know he's working on new stuff.
Yeah.
But like,
That sounds like Frank Ocean.
yeah, he kind of is. Yeah, he's kind of like a mini Frank Ocean in a way. But question number 4 is what's
Yeah.
on your musical rotation right now?
What's that?
Like, what are you listening to
Yeah, okay.
right now? Yeah, sorry. I was like, I wonder if she's gonna understand that phrase. It's a weird one.
Also I'm trying to listen to like all kinds of music now because I want new, as I said, like new inputs, like is that what you say? Like
Inspiration.
yeah, a lot of new inspiration I need. If I can check my
Yeah.
här. Thames. Have you heard Thames?
How do you spell that?
Tems.
No.
No, I don't know. This is how she looks. No. Det är lite...
No, I don't recognize her.
Det är och her voice is like...
Oh, my voice is a mystery.
Ah, my voice is a mystery. Ah,
That sounds cool.
don't know,
That sounds
I don't know
groovy.
what- yeah, also it's really, really groovy. But she's on replay. Adrian Lenker.
Yeah. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
awesome.
Me and my sister loves Adrian Lenker.
Her voice is crazy.
It's crazy. Also, anything is it's like top 5 songs of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a beautiful song.
Yeah.
And the guitars are so sweet.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's perfect for winter time
Yeah,
to me.
it really is. But the internet. I like the internet. And then
Mhm.
that's like Japanese house and Frank Ocean always stays
Right.
in the...
They're always there.
Yeah, especially Frank Ocean. He never leaves.
Mm-mm.
So
Well, that leads me to my final question here, which I think is always interesting to ask Frank Ocean fans. Channel Orange or Blonde?
Channel Orange.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have guessed. I would have thought you'd say Blonde.
Also, I love Blonde. It's like... Nej, alltså I must say Channel Orange. It's like it's no song on that album that I don't. So why didn't I say Channel Orange when you asked the question. That's the perfect album there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Also, I like every song
Mm-hmm.
on there, but then we have like Solo and White Ferrari, Godspeed. There's a really good ones on Blonde, but every single song is good on Channel Orange.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
What do
But you though?
I would say Blonde.
Yeah.
I think Blonde is this vast universe, just that sounds like nothing else. And I do think a couple of the interludes don't really need to be there. Like, I used to think they were really cool, and like 5 years later, I'll skip the Facebook story one. I don't really need to hear that one again. But I feel the same way about Blonde the way you feel about Channel Orange. There's not
Yeah.
a song that I want to skip. And I also never really want to listen to it out of order.
Oh.
Like, I don't really want to listen to one song on Blonde. Like, I want to start at the beginning and finish it.
That's so nice. That's so nerdy.
Nerdy? Oh my God.
But I love that.
Yeah.
I love nerdy. Like music yeah. That's really nice.
Yeah, I will get super nerdy about albums. Like, I love to listen to the whole thing.
Yeah. How old are you?
How old do you think I am?
You look like maybe me, 26, 27, 20.
25.
25!
Yeah,
Ah,
pretty close.
there.
Pretty close. Yeah.
yeah.
You're right
Okay,
in there.
so you're born 96.
96, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because I thought about it before we started talking. Like, I'm not like, if I had like this thing about listening to an entire album in like the right order, I also love it and I think it's like sacred.
Mm-hmm.
But it has like gone out of me. I don't have that like a ritual. It
Right.
hasn't stayed with me. And then I thought like, but maybe I'm not the generation that we don't do that maybe. But I think I'm too old to say that. I
I don't know.
think so.
I will still listen to a lot of songs that are not part of an album, or I don't listen to the whole album, or I will listen to songs from an album that are not in order. But it's really, there's just like a handful of albums I definitely feel like that about, like Blonde, like a lot of Radiohead albums. So it's not everything for me. There's just a few that mean a lot to me that it feels kind of weird to just want to listen to one song. But those kind of come in phases too. Like, I don't always want to do that, but sometimes I'll just be like, I got to listen to this album today. Like, I forgot how good it was, and let me throw it on. But yeah, not always. I do wonder, I feel like a lot of people I know listen to playlists that are made by Spotify or whatever, and I don't do a lot of that, and sometimes I wish I did, because I do it actually for Spotify's Fresh Finds indie playlist, which is how I found out about you. So that's the only playlist I'll really listen to, unless it's something that I've made.
Yeah.
And I really only listen to that because I can reach out to those. Not everyone. Some people are a little bit bigger. But I can reach out to, if I really love something, I'm like, oh, let me check out their Instagram. Would it be weird to reach out? You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's really, really nice.
Yeah. How do you typically like to listen to music?
I have like a playlist 5 years old.
Oh, wow.
On Spotify that I done myself, and I can't listen to it anymore. It's like it's too many songs. It's too old. I need to update it. So I would say that I mostly listen to my own playlists, or also when you said it like that, I remembered like Lemonade, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I never start in the middle of that album. Like I press on the first play.
Right.
Also, so that's probably right. But right now I only listen to like I have a playlist called Ja, nya sessions, which is yay, new sessions. with with inspirational music.
Stuff that's hitting you right now that just feels really good to listen to in the moment.
Yeah, and stuff that I want to take parts from. Like I want to, like, you know, I want to feed my brain with these different kinds of music so that it's like in my bones. So when I get to the writing, I can just like it can come out of me like words.
Like a musical diet.
Yeah. And that's really good, I think, because if you'd asked me for like 2 months ago, maybe I was just listening to music I know in and out. Like there's a Swedish artist that my father listened to when we grew up, and when I was going to town, also when I went outside, I always listened to him, and like it's nothing about his music. I love the music, but I don't want to do it myself. Like of course it's not gonna give me inspiration or new influences when it's stuff that I've heard for all my life.
Right. Sometimes you come back to stuff and something from your childhood and you forget how good it was. Like where some things you listen to later, like when you're older and it was something that you listened to as a kid, and you might go back to it and be like, I don't really like it as much as I used to. But it's a nice surprise when it's the opposite. You go back and you're like, wow, this still is awesome.
It's still good. Yeah. It's still beautiful. Yeah. Also, I'm not... I'm the artist that Dad showed us when we were small. They keep hitting me, as you say, as you said. Also, really, they're still here, and it's also nice to have music just to share with the family. Like when I'm away, when I'm here, like 80 Swedish miles. What's that? Like 800 kilometers.
Oh, you're asking the wrong guy.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know that conversion.
But like, it takes like 9 hours to go with the car.
Oh, okay, yeah.
To my to my father in Skellefteå. And it's so nice to have music that reminds me of them, of him, and home. Right.
Some things, like, they're the family band or the family artists that everyone in the family like listens to and loves, because I certainly have a lot of artists that I would never show my parents. Just because it's like, I don't want to scare them, maybe. So we fall back on the same stuff that we all love when we're hanging out, which is great.
Yeah, that's great.
Awesome. Well, Demekech, that is our time here. On that note, I really appreciate you coming on and letting me pick your brain about the new EP and just going deep into the writing process and the creation process. So thank you for joining me for an episode, and I'm very excited to hear the new stuff that you're going to be putting out. Everyone needs to check out Call Dad, the EP. It's beautiful. It's lovely. Please listen to it.
Thank you. Thank you for picking on me.
Picking your brain? I guess I shouldn't
Picking
have
my
used
brain.
that phrase.
It was really fun. It was really fun.
It was. Yeah. Thank you again for coming on. It's been really awesome getting to talk to you.
Yeah, you too.
Cool. I will talk to you later, Demekech.
Yes.
And I'll send you those choker songs.
Yeah, please do.
I
I will
will.
remind you otherwise.
Perfect. All right. I'll see you later.
See you later.
Thank you again for joining me for another episode of On That Note with Parker Whirling. If you haven't yet, please make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube and Apple Podcasts, and you can even leave a comment down below to let me know who you're listening to. On that note, I'll see you guys next time.